Hello traders, my name is Rodrigo Antonio. I'm the performance coach for City Traders Imperium, and today I've got the pleasure of meeting Michael. And so Michael has passed our evaluation and is now one of our portfolio managers. And in this interview we go into his strategy. He's a trend follower and uses a mechanical strategy to trade a diverse amount of Forex pairs. So we'll go into some of his statistics, and you can see he trades all sorts of pairs. So it's a really interesting way of trading, in a way to keep diversified. In a way, it's a sort of risk management method, isn't it? Diversification. So before we get into the interview, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. That's going to help with the YouTube algorithm. Let us know in the comment section what style of trader you are. Are you also a swing trader, or are you a scalping trader? How long do you usually spend with executing your strategy? So I'll be really interested to hear that, and I will reply to your comments, so make sure you do so. So without further ado, let's get straight into the interview. Hey Michael, thank you for joining me. I hear congratulations are in order. You've passed the evaluation, so well done to you. I see that you started around July time, isn't it? So how did you find trading the evaluation?
Fine. I mean, I try not to think about it too much. I just take the trade as I normally would, and just go through the process and let the results look after themselves.
Yeah, that's the kind of response we want to hear.
Right.
Because although when we achieve something, it's natural to get a bit excited, but it's also important as a trader to be very composed about it. We're just doing our job, isn't it? We're just following our process. So how did you get into trading, and how long have you been going for?
It's a long time ago. I mean, I started discovering the idea of trading years and years ago, and just played at it. It wasn't so straightforward. Online brokers were not necessarily available. I was living overseas. I spent much of my adult life overseas, in fact, with very poor internet connection. So it was just something I never took seriously, but I've always been interested in the markets and in macroeconomics in particular. So the idea that you could actually have an interest in something and possibly make money from it was always quite appealing. But it wasn't until I had a bit of a career change, a bit of a lifestyle change, that I started taking it a little bit more seriously. And I actually joined, I went for training and joined a prop firm out in Dubai, and that's when things started, as I've really developing the seriously then.
Oh, how long were you in Dubai for?
Oh, in total, off and on, maybe about 8 or 9 years, I guess.
Wow, okay.
But it was a base, because I was traveling backwards and forwards to Asia, that's the thing.
Oh, nice. So what did you like about Dubai?
I liked its location. I liked its time zone. I liked most of the climate, particularly in the winter months. I liked the fact that I could get to an airport and onto a plane and these all sorts of interesting places within about 6 hours. It's a fantastic hub. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a big shopping mall sort of person, but the infrastructure was interesting, and I enjoyed. It was fun to watch a place like that grow. I mean, changes almost overnight. It was an interesting place to be.
Yeah, well, 9 years. You must have seen a lot of changes, a lot of buildings going up.
A lot of buildings going up, and then after the default of 2008, then a lot of buildings going empty.
Oh yeah, that too as well. That's that's definitely a different conversation there.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what we can do is we can discuss certain aspects of your trading statement. I can see that you have a diverse amount of markets that you trade. I can see dollar CAD, Swiss yen, Aussie Swiss, Euro Aussie, NZD CAD. Wow, you have a huge diverse amount of FX pairs. Your strategy, is it quite mechanical? Is your strategy quite mechanical and it works in most pairs?
It's purely mechanical. It's purely based on price action. So I just go through all the pairs, and if there's a signal there, basically it's a trend following system. If the price action suggests that there's a start of a trend, I jump on it. And there's a reason that I want a portfolio of trades of Forex pairs, because not all of them will work out. So, and I don't want to be committed to one particular sort of long yen or short dollar or whatever.
Yeah, I can see you have
so actually, the pair itself is fairly irrelevant. But I just look at the price bars, and it tells me whether I get on or I get out.
Okay, and what time frame do you use to define your trend?
Just daily.
Oh, your daily. Yeah, I do the same thing. It's such a great time frame to determine trend, isn't it? And do you use any sort of scripts or indicators to automate part of your strategy?
No automation. No.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot more. It's also a lot more fun when it's discretional, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't like. I don't really like to call it discretionary because it's very clear whether I can get into a trade or not. I mean, I have to discipline myself.
Absolutely.
So, I normally what I do is I set up a watch list the previous evening before I go to bed, and then those are the pairs that I look at, say 7 o'clock the following morning. Are they about to, or maybe have they already triggered into a trade there? Yeah, and that's simple as that. So the main work of the day is first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening.
Okay, so how many hours did you say you spend on trading every week?
A week. I mean, actively looking at trades and so on for this particular method, an hour a day.
Wow.
Maybe an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm looking at charts because I can't help myself. I love looking at charts. I never get bored looking at charts.
Yeah.
So there are other trading systems that I use that are outside this particular one that I use with you guys. There are other things that I'm doing, but for the purpose of this evaluation and what I will carry forward to the next levels, it's purely this trend following system.
Fantastic. I know the feeling. Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, and because you're looking at so many different pairs, it's like you can feel what the pulse of the market is doing. So when you start to see liquidity enter in particular pair, or it might be because it's a risk on, risk off environment, you can just see it across the market.
Yes, but I try my best not to trade that feeling.
Yes, that's definitely true.
It's purely price action, nothing else.
Yeah, you got to be very careful with trading your feelings. You're absolutely right. But your approach reminds me a lot of a pilot, and although a pilot has a whole process to follow, a whole checklist to follow, there is somewhat of a discretion there, but it's very mechanical at the same time. It's not easy. If everyone can do it, everybody will be a pilot, but it's actually quite difficult to reach that stage. But you have to be so disciplined. But there are times when a pilot needs to make a discretional decision, and that's where wisdom comes in.
Yeah, I mean, one example would be like, your trends are suddenly reversing on you and your risk may be approaching your drawdown. So in that case, you jump in, you don't wait for your stops to hit, and you jump in and say, I need to go out of these trades now. Yeah,
there you go. So with risk management, there is an element of discretion there. In fact, risk management is perhaps the most important part of the whole process, because as we discussed before the recording, we were saying how it's not all about the strategy. It's not all about the entry. There's a lot more to this than just that side of it. Talking about drawdown, you managed to keep the drawdown managed very well based on 149 trades. Or some of them I think these ones are counted, the ones that are cancelled, but around 149.
Look at my size of my position. That every single one of them is minimal position size.
I can see that.
It's two trades, always two entries.
Yeah.
Never one, and one micro lot.
Wow. Yeah. And why do you do that? Why do you have two entries?
Because there wasn't that much scope for drawdown. Was 7.5% of it? Was it? I can't remember now.
That's right. It was 5%.
I'd rather take my time rather than hit my drawdown limit and get closed out. So the trend following, it's just a case of just taking the trades and waiting to catch the wave, and that's what you see in my equity curve, right? It just bumps along the bottom.
Yeah.
While, and then it hits the wave and off you go.
Yeah, exactly. And which pairs contributed the most to that expansion in
No,
your back.
I couldn't even tell you, but my guess is that those trends suddenly sort of went up a gear, and they all carried themselves, because those that didn't would have just dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just looking now at your actual equity curve, well, it's more of the balance curve. You spent some time in underwater, as they say, a bit, and most traders, I would say 99% would have hit their relative drawdown mark, but you just kept going, and I mean, you had no choice, but you managed to turn it around, and it gets tough psychologically. So how did you manage from a mental point of view? How did you manage that drawdown period?
Because I knew that I was already that my position sizing was already timed as was 1 micro, and my stop out levels are set very strictly. So trend following is nothing about you're not predicting price action, and I can't predict price action. I'm not good enough for that. But I just follow the price action. So I know that at some point that price action is going to start working in my favor. And it's like a rising tide lifts all boats. And it's just a matter of waiting for that tide to come in.
Love that. I love that analogy. You sound like a very laid back trader.
I think it's not always like that. I think as long as you can't go back and say, you know what, I really screwed that up because I didn't follow my rules. That's the worst thing you can do. If I messed it up because I didn't follow my rules, then okay, fair enough, you go back and you try again. But it's going to work for you eventually. Yeah,
but actually I take that back. It's not like you're a laid back trader. What I meant to say is that you're working smart. You're catching the meat of the move as opposed to trying to predict.
Exactly. That's what trend following is all about. Don't try and catch the tops and the bottoms. Just stick the meat in the sandwich. Exactly.
It's the best part, isn't it? And so yeah, that very impressive. And just looking at a few more of your stats here. So for your exits, how did you manage your exits? Do you have a trailing stop, or do you have an actual TP?
So as I said, every trade take 2 positions. So one position has a very conservative profit target, normally based on the ATR. So that just basically my stats suggest that first profit target has a very good probability of being reached, around 80%. So I take that first bit of profit, and that just pays my overheads, my costs, and helps pay off the losers. The remaining position, no profit target, none at all, just a trading stop.
Just a trading stop, yeah.
Because that's what trend following is all about. Trend following doesn't really work so well with profit targets. It's definitely not.
Yeah. And do you trail it automatically, or do you do it manually?
Okay, so that's it's part of my routine in the evening, and it's actually my favorite part of the day is when I go in and I move all my stocks up and down. I love that bit.
Nice.
So I'm preparing my watch list for the following day, and I'm trading my stocks.
Fantastic.
That way I can sleep better.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of evening routine do you have as in addition to that process?
Well, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a list of all the currency pairs. They're all highlighted in different colors, so I know which ones are open trades. So I go through those first, and I trail the stocks accordingly. And then I also highlight those pairs which I think have the potential for a setup the following day. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I look at are those that I've highlighted the day before, and see whether there's still a probability of whether there's still a chance that these are trades I'm going to be entering for that day.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay.
I don't set buy stop or sell stop orders overnight generally. That's something, because Asian sessions can be a little bit volatile. So it's not uncommon you can get triggered into a trade which then immediately falls back, and I don't really want that. I'm prepared to pay a little bit extra to jump on the trade in the morning if the price is already moving. I don't mind that so much. So I will set buy and sell stops during trading hours, during UK, US trading hours, but not during Asian hours.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Well, thank you for sharing all of that. And So if you had some advice to other traders who are wanted to become a funded trader with City Traders Imperium, what advice would that be?
Well, I like to say what works for me. Don't try and be something that you're not. So I think that a trading style that suits you is critical. Like I'm a trend follower. I don't mind paying a bit extra to get into a position. I've tried scalping; it doesn't work for me. But I know other traders that just love scalping, and they think the trend following is they're just a bunch of horses because they're just paying so much extra to get into a position, while scalping to the nearest 5 pips is what they live on. So find something that suits you and also suits your lifestyle. This particular trade method I use really requires a good time in the morning and evening. You've got things you can do in the day when you're able to do it. So I think that's the most important thing. Find something that suits you mentally and your personality and what you do the rest of the day.
Absolutely, that's very wise words there.
Yeah, I think that's the critical thing. The rest of it is don't get too hung up on the strategy, as I mentioned. Yeah? This strategy that I described in itself will probably lose money over time. It works, or so far it's worked, because the money management is really quite strict. Taking that first bit of profit off the table, just giving that little bit of payment first thing, and then letting the other ones run. So money management is also very critical.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you do when the market conditions are not favorable to your strategy? How do you identify that, and what do you do in that situation?
Oh, then I just sit on my hands. But there's always something trending. It's very rare. I mean, yes, there are days. Sometimes it's feast or famine. Yes, there are quiet periods. I mean, this week has been a little bit frustrating because there are trends in place, but of course I'm not trading at the moment, right? At least I'm not trading with you guys at the moment because we're going through this transition. So if, for example, if I had to restart again on Monday, I've got to wait now for a fresh trend to reassert itself, and that may take a few days, but there'll be something else. Just check the charts. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah. So you just have to sit on your hands and wait for it. The charts will tell you when they're ready to buy.
I've really enjoyed our conversation, Michael, and I appreciate all of your insights and your wisdom, and thank you for sharing parts of your strategy with everyone. And I have to say that you're probably one of the healthiest traders in terms of lifestyle, in terms of the amount of time that you spend. I'm quite jealous about that. I wish I could spend as little time as that on trading, but I do try my best. But yeah, thank you so much. Well done on passing the evaluation, and I wish you all the best. And do know that we are here at CTI. There's different senior traders that you can always ask and speak to. You can contact us on Discord. You can send us an email. And so if you are on Discord, yeah, we're really easy to reach on Discord. I think with email sometimes we get a little bit too many emails. So, but yeah. So thank you so much again. After this section, we can discuss and arrange all of the next stage for you. Okay.
All right then. Appreciate it.
So there you have it, traders. I hope you've enjoyed this interview with Michael and myself. I certainly enjoyed, and it was a pleasure to meet Michael and learn a little bit more about him. These interviews are great because you get to learn about different traders' experiences and ways of looking at the market, and everyone has just a unique perspective of looking at things, and there's always something to learn there. So I would like to know exactly the type of lessons or insights that you have gained from this interview. Let me know in the comments and I'll definitely reply to you. And if you're interested in our funding, make sure you head over to our website. All the links are on the description below. And if you're interested in improving your strategy or developing or learning a new strategy, make sure that you visit our website. The links are below because we have multiple strategies that we are teaching and multiple programs that also include funding. So not only do you get to learn and develop a strategy with one of our senior traders and coaches and have them as your mentor, you'll also be working towards funding. And that's exactly what we want to do here at City Traders Imperium. It's not just the funding that we do, it's also the education, the development, because we are seeking disciplined traders who are committed to being consistently profitable traders. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and comment below. Let me know if you are that trader. Thanks again for joining in. It's been a great pleasure once again to interview one of our portfolio managers at City Traders Imperium. We'll see you in the next portfolio manager interview.